Greetings, beloved souls of light. I am Psychic Sulamita, and tonight we open our hearts to the whispers of the universe through the ancient wisdom of the Gypsy cards. We prepare for a journey into the spiritual currents swirling around U.S. politics, especially the confrontation between Donald Trump and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Light a white candle beside you, ground yourself with deep breaths, and let us listen to the spirit. I shuffle the deck, and the first card leaps forth. The whip. This image vibrates with conflict, sharp words, public scandals, and fiery debates. It signals division so intense it burns. The energies at play in California are not subtle. They clash like steel on steel. The whip foretells escalating confrontation. This mirrors the fiery speeches, aggressive exchanges, the Twitter storms, and rally chants. A spiritual battlefield is taking shape. Directly following is the snake. Her presence warns of deception, treachery disguised as truth. This card reveals hidden agendas, secret alliances, and poisonous betrayals within inner circles. I see advisors comforted by promises of power, yet willing to twist truth to maintain control. Governor Newsom's entourage may include those acting in their own secretly preparing to cut ties if their facade comes crashing down. Then the heart appears. Like a candle's gentle flame illuminating the darkness, it points to passion. True devotion and heartfelt intentions. Here, I feel Trump's spiritual pulse, a deep-rooted love for his followers, a commitment to defending what he believes is America's soul. It also reminds us that amidst this chaos, the yearning of the people to belong, to feel heard, is real. That vibration sustains and gives form to the unfolding story. Playing deeper, I see the tower, a tower built on shifting sands, self-isolated and brittle. This tower is Newsom's public persona, proud, lofty, yet deeply buried in arrogance and disconnect. The tower warns of an imminent spiritual collapse, a fall from power that may come swiftly. This is no ordinary political stumble. The spirits declare, deception cannot maintain altitude forever. The sun, standing in stark contrast, appears. The sun, bright, radiant, truth, realign. This card brings healing, clarity, divine justice. It falls squarely over Trump's spiritual foundation. The light of truth surrounds him. For all the attacks he's endured, this sun suggests he is being guided and shielded by energies far beyond the media glare. The spiritual tide is turning, and this radiance will expose what darkness tries to hide. Images flash in my mind of Los Angeles, but not the Hollywood of fame. Instead, I perceive a spiritual burn. A wall of golden flame shooting upward, purple-black smoke swirling. Fires are burning on two levels. The physical and the energetic. Spiritual arsonists stoke fear in burning hearts, feeding off citywide anxiety like vultures in the sky. The rat confirms this vision. Theft of energy, spiritual parasites, creative vitality, civic pride, communal strength drained. I see invisible hands siphoning life from neighborhoods while the masked conspirators remain unseen. These unseen thieves include social pressure, moral rot, and distractions that drown spiritual purpose. Yet hope emerges. I draw the ring. This is not a wedding promise, but a spiritual covenant. Binding, unbreakable. I sense that behind the scenes, beyond public scrutiny, Trump has allies of spirit and strategy. ex-military, praying families, quiet pastors. Together, they form an unseen circle of protection and purpose. Their alliance is not based on politics, but on shared spiritual vision. But the challenges remain. Next comes the cross, a symbol of suffering and sacrifice. The cross reminds us that any attempt to realign spiritual truth on earth comes at personal cost. Trump, his advocates, his base they face, persecution, heartbreak, false charges, and yet they carry the cross. Their suffering is not meaningless. It is woven into a larger spiritual tapestry. The spirits are still with us. They now guide our gaze to the next layer, beyond the political stage, into the true war. The spiritual war for the heart of America. This battle is not just Trump versus Newsom. It is light versus shadow, truth versus illusion. The next card drawn is the mask. I feel chills as it lands. The mask warns of false identities, deceptive smiles, and orchestrated performances. Here lies the media. I see television anchors perfectly styled, reading lies with smiling faces. I see social media influencers paid to distract the young, to normalize chaos. Newsom appears again here, wearing a spiritual mask so perfect that many still believe it's his true face. But the spirits say masks will fall. In a vision, I see an earthquake. Not of earth, but of perception. A crack opens in the collective mind. Truth breaks through, sudden and shocking. Those who once worshipped their idols will feel disillusionment. Their energy will recoil. Some will awaken. Some will turn to rage. Spiritual earthquakes always cause emotional aftershocks. The next card is the fox, a symbol of manipulation, media strategy, and clever lies. It reveals plots crafted with charm, precision, and hidden cruelty. I sense that teams are working day and night, not to solve America's crises, but to shape opinions, manufacture outrage, and craft narratives that blind the These foxes play with emotions. Fear, shame, guilt, division. A voice rises from the cards. Watch the editors, not the headlines. The true wizards of this media magic sit in boardrooms, not studios. They decide which footage the world sees. They decide what is deleted. They decide who is made into a demon and who is painted as a saint. And yet, the spiritual current is shifting. Their grip is loosening. A closed book falls next. It represents secrets, classified documents, hidden history. There is something that Newsom and his backers do not want revealed, perhaps a scandal, a network of financial corruption, or even foreign influence. But the deck whispers? This secret will not stay buried. I see a whistleblower, young, nervous, protected by a grandmother's prayer. A file is copied, a cloud storage opened, a name leaks at first ignored, then mocked, then undeniable. The book opens. From the shadows emerges the child. This card speaks of innocence, renewal, and spiritual rebirth. It carries a dual message. First, a warning. Children are being spiritually targeted through corrupted education, toxic entertainment, and moral confusion. But also a promise. The next generation holds pure light. I see young people waking up, rejecting chaos, hungering for truth. Mothers, fathers, Do not underestimate the sacred duty you have. Pray over your children, guard their dreams, plant in them seeds of discernment. The battle for America's soul begins with the youngest heart. The moon follows. Mystical, emotional, confusing. This card speaks of illusions, but also of hidden intuition. It tells me that many feel overwhelmed, as if lost in fog. But listen closely. The moon also sharpens dreams. Those of you waking with strange visions, those sensing shifts in the air, you are not crazy. You are awakening. The moon invites you to cleanse your homes, light white candles, place salt in corners, pray Psalm 91 aloud, ask your ancestors for protection. There are energies prowling, but you are not helpless. A false flag rising suddenly. I am no longer with the cards. A strong image overtakes me. I see a false flag event being prepared. A staged act, chaos in a major city. It will be blamed on conservatives, used to restrict freedom and to frame Trump supporters as violent extremists. But the spirits cry, do not fall into the trap. Stay calm. Record everything. The truth will come out, but only if the righteous remain grounded. The anchor closes this reading. A card of strength, grounding. It tells us, no matter the storm, those anchored in spiritual truth will not drift. Even when smeared, mocked, deplatformed, stay firm. Light will prevail over darkness. This is not blind optimism. It is prophecy. The battle may be long, but it is winnable. Now, the higher plan guides me to bring practical advice to all who live in the United States, especially those who feel that the country's energy is dense, heavy, and charged with uncertainty. I light a white candle at this moment, a symbol of peace and truth, and invoke the presence of divine spiritual mentors of light to guide this final part. The first clear guidance I receive is, spiritually, protect your homes. We are in times of invisible battle. Every home needs to be a sanctuary of prayer. Light protection candles on Sundays. Read the Bible aloud, especially the Psalms, and bless the entrance of your homes with anointed oil or holy water. This closes negative portals and prevents the entry of dense energies. Spirituality also asks that you pay attention to your body's signals. Symptoms like unexplained fatigue, neck and shoulder pain, baseless irritability, and a feeling of suffocation at night are signs of spiritual attacks. Do not ignore them. These symptoms increase in regions where occult rituals are performed, especially during high-profile events like award ceremonies, festivals, and politically charged demonstrations with strong symbolism. Spiritual cleansing must be constant. I recommend using baths with coarse salt and herbs like rue, rosemary, and guinea henweed. They cleanse the auric field and help reconnect you with your soul's purpose. Take these baths on Fridays with firm prayer and visualize that everything contrary to light will be removed from your life. The cards once again show me the Tower card, revealing isolation. Many people are feeling alone, misunderstood, distant from their families or their spiritual homeland. This is happening because we are living the separation of the wheat from the chaff. False loves are falling apart. Self-serving friendships are being exposed, and everything without firm roots is crumbling. But this is necessary for purification. The falling tower makes way for a new temple to rise. Therefore, do not fear losses. Do not mourn Trust in what the spiritual plan is building behind the scenes. What seems like confusion today will be liberation tomorrow. Now, I receive the vision of a great golden flame igniting over the map of the United States. This spiritual flame represents the resurgence of true faith. I see small points of light spreading in states like Texas, Florida, Arizona, Oklahoma, and parts of rural Pennsylvania and Ohio. These points are spiritually awakened communities that do not bow to censorship or systems that mock the Christian faith. These people will be like living torches, illuminating the path for those who are still lost. Spirituality confirms there will be a revival, and it will be in the most improbable places. God chooses the humble to confound the powerful. The child card appears as a sign of new beginnings. It shows me that there will be a movement of return to spiritual innocence. Many children and young people who seem disconnected today will awaken psychic gifts, visions, prophetic dreams, and a desire to serve the light. But for this to happen, parents need to be attentive. Use positive words at home. Avoid films and music with satanic or suffering vibrations. A child absorbs everything, and if exposed to pain and spiritual violence, they can carry traumas throughout their lives. Whoever cares for a child's soul cares for the future of a nation. Protect your children with daily prayers, blessed crosses in their rooms, and words of affirmation from the heart. My dears, I cannot conclude without addressing the danger of misused technologies. Spirituality clearly shows that certain devices and social networks are being used as channels for energetic manipulation. The rat's card appears, indicating wear and tear, vampirism, and the theft of vital energy. This reveals to me that prolonged exposure to negative content, tragic news, and toxic debates is undermining the spiritual strength of many people. It is necessary to digitally fast, cut down on excess useless information, and dedicate more time to spiritual reading and inner silence. Your cell phone cannot be more important than your connection with God. Spirituality calls for balance. To conclude this sacred message, I draw 3 final cards: the cross, the sun, and the book. The cross shows that sacrifice is now being made by all who have chosen to walk in the light. It will not be easy, but it will be rewarding. The sun brings confirmation that victory will belong to truth, faith, and good, and the book announces divine revelations that are yet to come. I see that by the end of 2025, great spiritual secrets will be revealed, including those about former presidents, hidden found, my beloved ones. We are not in an ordinary political cycle. We are in a spiritual passage where choices carry energetic consequences. This is why your prayers matter. Your silence or your courage echoes beyond this dimension. Each gesture of faith adds weight to the scale.